Hey, what's up guys? My name is Kai, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to make this really simple zooming system that allows player to zoom closer or further away from your character. So without further ado, let's get into it. All of the logic will be stored in our player character, so you wanna locate your blueprint with your player character and open that up. As you can see, I'm already in the viewport of my character, and the first thing I wanna talk about is the camera boom. So if I go into components and click on camera boom, what you're gonna see is the target arm length in the details. And this is important to notice because we are gonna be working with this to make this system. So just to quickly explain what is camera boom. You can think of camera boom as an arm that holds up your camera, and this target arm length basically determines how long that arm is. The higher the value, the farther away from player. So as a default, this is set to 300 in the third person template from Unreal that they provide. So I'm gonna leave it as default for now, but yours might be different, and I need you to think about it like this. The default is 300. There is gonna be always a maximum value for it that you don't want to exceed, because you don't want your player to be, of course, able to zoom out or in indefinitely, especially zoom in. You need to be wary of that, because if you allow them to zoom in too much, the camera is gonna glitch through the character and it's gonna look all messy. So if we have the base value of 300, I find is that for third person games, in most cases, maximum value 500 and minimum value of 150 works quite well. So with that in mind, let's go and make this. So I'm gonna go into event graph. And the first thing is I wanna keybind it to something on the keyboard or mouse. And I'm gonna keybind it to mouse wheel. So I'm gonna search for mouse wheel up and mouse wheel down. And the reason why I'm doing it with this is because that's the most, of course, common one to use. And you can swap this around as much as you want. So I'm gonna swap this around and I'm gonna first do zoom out. So from pressed, I'm gonna search for a branch. And now I wanna get my camera boom from the component, drag it in and get target arm length. And first I'm gonna get it. Then I'm gonna drag from it again and I'm gonna search for set arm length. And we're gonna set it. And I'm gonna drag it here and I'm gonna plug it into false, like so. And now from the target arm length, I'm looking to subtract. So minus, and I'm gonna also just do this right now and I'm gonna search for a less equal and then I'm gonna explain what it works. So plug this into the branch and now we have these two values here. So the first value I'm gonna set to 10. This is basically how much you want to zoom in one trigger of the event. And I found that the value of 10 works pretty well with most cases and it provides for a smooth movement of the camera. Now this is the minimal value of our target arm length. So how far in we can zoom to our character basically. So like I said before, I'm gonna go with 150, but if you want to not be able to zoom in so close to the character, you can increase this value, or if you want to zoom in even closer, you can lower the value. So that's basically it. Now this pane will go into the set target arm length. So just to quickly explain how this works, is we are gonna trigger the event with our keybind, and then we are gonna take the current value of the target arm length and we're gonna subtract from it by 10. And then what this does is we check if it's gonna go lower than our minimum value. If it's not, then it's gonna trigger the false path, and then we are gonna basically get this value, which is the original value but with the subtracted number, and we're gonna set it as the new value. It's actually quite simple. So now that we have this, I'm gonna just take all of this and I'm gonna press C to comment and I'm just gonna call this zoom in. Keep your code clean and explained like this and you're never gonna get lost in your own code. So now that we have that, I'm just gonna select all of these except the mouse wheel down. So I'm gonna select all of these, hold down your left control and then left click on the node that you don't want to. And I'm gonna duplicate it with Control D and plug that into mouse wheel up, like so. And we are just gonna change this around. So I'm gonna delete these two nodes and I'm gonna get target arm length, and this time I'm gonna add to it. And I'm gonna go with the same value of 10. So you want to generally keep these values the same, because it would feel weird when zooming in is faster than zooming out, but of course, obviously it depends on your project. And then from here, I'm just gonna search for a greater equal and plug that into the branch. And I'm gonna select this, and I'm gonna set the value to, let's say, 500, like I mentioned earlier, and then just plug this value into target arm length, select all, comment, and call it zoom out. And just like this, we are done with the whole system. So if I compile and go into play, you can see right now, this is the default. And now I can zoom in like this. And then, as you can see, I think you can even hear through my microphone that I'm trying to scroll my mouse, but it won't let me zoom in more. This is because we set the minimal value and we are checking for that. On the other hand, if we scroll out after a certain value, it won't let us scroll further away. So that's basically the whole system. I hope you found this helpful. And as always, like, subscribe, all that thing. And yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.